Is shill bidding on everything online? What is shill bidding? How do we stop it from happening? And how do we protect ourselves? Unfortunately, us collectors will encounter and deal with shill bidding on the regular within the soccer card community. Auctions can be fun and exciting. That feeling, that rush at winning a card that you've seen on auction for only a few bucks when you know is worth a lot is indescribable.
Nothing. No bids for item 751.
A buck.
I have a buck. I have $1 there. $1 $2. Sold for a buck.
But of course, there's the other side when you don't win that card that you're going for. You've tried so hard, so desperate to win that auction, but you don't. You can feel really frustrated and angry in that moment. So you've got the emotions of winning an auction or losing an auction, then throw in the factor of shill bidding. It can result in a confusing state and a confusing feeling. You will look at your phone after that auction's finished and not be sure what to do. It's confusing that us collectors and us as a card community in whole have normalized and accepted shill bidding being part of the system, part of the economy, part of the community. But shill bidding is shit. You can't mince your words any other way. It is shit. It is cheating, it is manipulating, and it's really fucked up. So today we're going to look at what shill bidding is, how you can detect it, and really notice if it's going on. And lastly, we're also going to dive into ways to maybe manage shill bidding, avoid shill bidding, and keep yourself safe and not taken advantage of. First thing to understand about shill bidding, it's not designated and confined to one place. It's not just on eBay. Everywhere you could buy a card through auction process, there may possibly, quite highly, an issue of shill bidding taking place. So I'm talking eBay, Card Hobby, Fanatics, Golden, all of these places will have shill bidders within them. So why on earth do sellers utilize and use shill bidding?
Why?
Well, what is shill bidding? It is a way to get the price of that auction to finish or be around the price that they wish it to be at. It's a way of tricking and taking advantage of buyers so they end up overpaying or the price goes for more than it realistically should for the item. As an example, you will see a lot of cards on eBay that go for prices that just aren't realistic, are not what those cards are worth. You then will see that card reappear a few days later through the same seller, again up for auction. So this has happened for a couple of reasons. One, the seller is trying to force the price into that range. The other is they maybe want to try and price fix, price manipulate. So they're hoping that places like eBay sold items, that new price will be fixed in there. So if someone's looking at comps, all they see is that manipulated price. So there's a bit of devil work going on in their mind.
Here's a photo of the devil, and here's the super devil. Now, as you can see, there are some significant differences. The Super Devil is at least 6 inches taller. He has a flying motorcycle and a jar of marmalade that we believe forces you to commit adultery.
How do they actually shill bid, though? How can you see a shill bid happen? Well, usually what happens, they've done it through friends or family, or they've used an alternative secondary eBay account. Now, with the secondary eBay account, basically their shill bidding account, the reason you can tell it's a shill bidding account, it will usually have very little feedback. They are telltale signs that that is a shill bidding account. That does, though, feel like a bit of conjecture because there could be a kid that's just opened their eBay account and they've only got one bit of feedback. So maybe you need to do a bit of further investigation. I'll show you how. Now on screen here, you can see an auction that I was involved in and a card that I really wanted to win. On the right, you can see when the bids were made. So for example, I made a big bid of $65 Australian on the 23rd. It ended up getting pushed up in value by this person that has one feedback. Right, as you can see, it was coming close to the end, and then bang, 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 they just suddenly jumped it into big increments. Now, of course, you might be sitting there and saying, yeah, but what if they were genuine? What if they really wanted the item? Yes, there is that possibility, but we're going to show you something here. So you come across here. Now, unfortunately, this can only be done through a computer, laptop, iPad. It can't be done on your phone. But you bring up the auction, you click on that name there, and it brings you the bid history. So basically, the history of communication and bidding between this purchaser and this seller. Interestingly enough, for a private seller, this person with one feedback has bid on 70% of their auctions. Alarm bells, suspicious. So they are frequently bidding on this person's items, trying to push up the price. Have a look at the other ones. So let's have a look at some of the other buyers or attempted buyers in this auction. So here we are. We've got a 12, we've got a 14, and we've got a 223. So let's have a look at the 14. That's what we want to see. 10% bid activity. So they are bidding a lot by the looks. 46 total bids, 10 items in total. They are bidding a lot, but their activity isn't very high. Go in there, use that thing. If you see an auction happening, use that tool. If you win or lose an auction, use that tool. It's very handy. Everyone has access to it. But as I said, it's only through computer and iPad. So apart from that, how else do we avoid shill bidding? Well, firstly, the more you bid and are active in the sports card community, you'll start spotting certain sellers who have a frequency of items being shill bid and then relisted, and you will start to be a bit wary of purchasing or bidding on their items. Secondly, report the shill bidding. It's something that these companies like eBay say that they're trying to stamp out, so you can report it. Unfortunately, for all the money and technology they have, quite often your reports will just be ignored. I haven't heard of anyone actually successfully getting their shill bids reported, but it is fucking everywhere. So places like eBay, you can report it, and you can let them know that it is a highly suspicious bidding activity.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Another tactic you can use, and some people might think, why do I have to do this when I'm not doing anything wrong? But it is a way of getting around this. Only purchase buy now or through best offers. Thing about those, it's fixed. You're not going to get manipulated. You might get manipulated in the price that someone's trying to sell it at, but you are going to be relatively firm in knowing the price you're getting. You're not throwing dice at the wall and hoping no one's going to manipulate it and shill bid the fuck out of you. The last tactic is, unfortunately, probably the shittest one and the one that we hate to do when we're desperately trying to get something for our collection, is just cancel the order. If you have been shill bid or you are highly suspect of the bidding activity, then cancel the order. Or alternatively, an option that I think is not used enough, you can simply write a message to the seller telling them to fuck off.
Fuck off is such a lovely pair of words, and it's international.
I can't guarantee sending them a message of fuck off will get you the result you want, but you will get your point across. It's important to know and say that not every auction has shill bidders going on, and some that you may suspect aren't actually shill bidding, but it is there in the card community. It's an ugly, fucked up thing that should not be part of the card community, but it is there, and we need to be aware of it and not be taken advantage of. As collectors, we are on here to genuinely buy things for ourselves. So usually part of that naturally is you want to get the best price. But you don't want people to take advantage of you and try and rip you off, which is essentially what shill bidding is. It is taking advantage of buyers. You need to keep on your toes and keep your wits about you when you're buying online. It's just part of the world we live in. But when these things are happening, use these tactics. Know the worth of your card that you're trying to purchase. Know if that item has been shill bid. And keep the power on your side so that you don't get taken advantage of and ripped off. Have you fallen victim to shill bidding? Is it something that you see happening a lot online? Is it something you weren't quite aware of? Will these tips and tricks help you? Is there any other tips and tricks that you would recommend for other people to use? Sound off down below in those comments. I love hearing from you guys as always. This has been Totally Football Cards. My name's Jeremy. Yeah, buddy. Let's get it.